I'm very excited about this program on May 23rd. And I was just trying to think, what could an audience expect when they walked in the door to this concert? Well, we're using original instruments or copies of original instruments of the classical era. And that has a completely different sound from, the Houston Symphony or any other modern symphony orchestra. And it's a much smaller group, which was customary in that time in Vienna. And we're playing off of urtext editions, like the original markings. They're copies. We're using the copies, but we are following all the articulations that Haydn wrote, that Mozart wrote, and they work really well on these instruments. They work really well on a violin, the bowings, for instance, because the bow is lighter and the gut strings respond differently. You can actually follow Mozart's slurs and articulations, and they work. And on the other instruments, sometimes people have to divide up the bowings and make up different ways to get the modern instrument and bow to respond the same way. So it's just like taking you in a time capsule, kind of like a living and breathing museum, to see what actually happens with these instruments performing with original articulations. And then once we're acknowledging all of that and doing everything that we see that the composer put on the page, then the spontaneity begins. And we're going to react to each other, listen to the bass line, listen to the motives across the orchestra. Obviously, like any musician in any group would do this, but it's just a different set of rules that we're living by. So we're just trying to recreate it to our best knowledge of what it might have sounded like in the classical era in Vienna.